Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194 and appreciate you taking the time to visit and check out my video. And I'm doing a setup for the Nissan GTR, trying to show it a little bit of love here at Monza. And I like driving it. I mean, it's not as fast as a lot of the other cars, but still a great car to hear the sounds. And this is really not its forte track. So before we get started, just kind of put down a little bit of foundation. I mean, this car, a GTR, is really more meant for the middle tracks and the shorter tracks. That's really, I think, where it shines because of the motor and the way the car just handles and things like that. I think it's a lot better for the Barcelonas and the Silverstones and those kind of tracks, the Valencias, things like that. I don't, really a really fast track like a Monza or Paul Ricard. I really don't think it's its forte, but still, I think it did really good, and held its own. And I got it where I was hoping I could get it, and I really thought I could get a little more out of it, but I think if I did, it would cause drivability. So let's jump behind the car. You can see how many laps I've done. I've done probably more than double that. This is not the first stint, so I've done probably 60, 70 laps plus a couple simulated races to see how it did in that also. So I've done a lot. Just kept wanting to try something else. You see him in the high 48s. Now you see him come up to the 150. Right at it. I mean, in the car, you're actually by it. You're actually almost to this. It looks like you're right at this line. So you're deep. I mean, you can really, this thing really will woe down. And that's where the first gear is really low in the GTR. But it does kind of help you when you're downshifting to slow down that last little bit. So again, I only use it in this turn one. That's the only time I use first gear in the GTR. That's it. And it does have really good brakes the way it's set up. Right to the inside. Again, the GTR isn't the greatest at changing directions, but you can kind of help it out with that, kind of like the AMG. Okay, right here at the orange, right at the end of this guardrail, I'm on the brakes. Again, try to late apex it. Try to come in, right almost behind that sausage. And then on the other side, you can hit them. It will go right over them. And then here, it's right where you're coming up to the end of this guardrail where the orange is. Again, in the car, it looks like you're right up to it. Hold it kind of tight, let it run out wide. Up the fourth, and right here at the 50. And again, you're going by the 50 when you're sitting in the car. Again, you can see now I'm already full throttle right there. And that's what you want. I mean, that's full throttle, and I'm still just at the just past the apex of the corner. So again, that's what you want. You want to get on the gas as early as possible. And again, same thing, right where this guy's standing, where the orange at the end of this guardrail. So again, you're right up to it or going by it when you're sitting in the car. And here, it's really important. You want to go in pretty deep here to take advantage of the car and it going over the bumps and things like that. So again, this is where you can really make up some time. It really does good through here. And I run right over these sausages, try to come in late apex and try to just hit these sausages. Again, you don't want to be way over, but I mean, right where I'm at is perfect. Just basically just hit them on your left side tires. You can see that. You can get on the curbing a little bit. You saw I just got on it a little bit. Back up. You see I just got on it a little bit. And then got off. Now I'm already shifting to fourth. Now, when you're doing right here and you're into fourth, or even a little farther up, you got a decent run. So if you've gone through there right, if you've gone into fourth. And again, right past the 100. So you're past the 100. Again, hold a little tight. Let it go out wide. It feels a little, you know, the car's a little, you got to drive it a little bit, but it's not bad. Speed's 170 down the straightaway. You see that's a 148.75, very consistent. All 170, so solid 170. So it's not the fastest, but GTR is not gonna be. So I mean, you just got to take what it'll give you and try to improve upon the places that you know that you can get the most improvement. So, and you can see the temperature is 24. So again, it's on the high side from where I usually do between 22 and 24. And that's how long I've been doing this. So it's, that's 24 degrees. So 24 and 25. So again, you know, these are the conditions I try to always do all my testing in. So again, even this is right on the, that's why I'm cutting it off, because I'd have to start over again because I don't want it any hotter than this. And again, you know, if you look at the 48.74, now in the race, when I was racing the other cars simulated, I was running mid 48s. So I gained a couple tenths easy, and I could have gained more, but I gained a couple tenths when I was in the races. So the simulated races with the AI. So again, doing that, you can run mid, you know, that's not, you could gain even more than that. I mean, I was just gaining a little bit amount. So, but still, so you're looking at still like a good half a second, maybe, compared to what I was doing in the other cars and my conditions. Not in like in E-Seniors. I'm talking about in the same controlled conditions that I test all the cars in. I mean, I was running like, you know, the Porsche high 47s, BMW's high 47s. So, I mean, you're looking at almost 3/4 of a second, between a half a second and 3/4 of a second. I mean, that's about the best I can do with it. So let's go over the setup. We got 26 left front, 25.5 left rear, 27 right front, 26.4 right rear. The toe's negative 0.1 in the front with the camber at negative 3.8 left front, negative 3.6 right front, and the caster at 18.1. Toe on the rear is a positive 0.1 with the camber at negative 3 on the left rear, negative 2.8 on the right rear. All this has had multiple adjustments. So I don't really see anything that I even want to try. It's pretty solid all the way through here. Electronics are 4, 3, and 1. And again, that last run again was just like what I have here. Now you can turn the ABS maybe down to 2, and that might gain you a little bit, so you can keep that in mind. And the same thing with the TC, but especially with the Nissan, you get a little bit of that turbo hit, and it might help you a little bit when the tires are fresh, but then after that, it's probably going to hurt you. So if you know, that's up to you, but you know, you can turn it down to whatever you want, but I think it would hurt after a few laps because the power would you'd end up losing more time. So I just kept it at 4 just for you know, keep it in a general spot. 55 liters. Number 1 brake pad. Tire wear was okay, not bad. Rear tires wore a little bit more than I liked, but not real bad. It wasn't real bad, but I mean, no graining or anything like that. 3 on the anti-roll bar in the front. Brake bias is 60.1. Steering all the way down. Spring on the front is 186,000. It's maxed out with the right front at 176,000. Bump stop rate 900 on the front with a bump stop range of 20 on the left front and 28 on the right front. On the rear, the spring's 146,000 maxed out. And on the right rear, the spring's 136,000. Bump stop rate is 700, and the bump stop range is 37 on the left rear and 50 on the right rear. Anti-roll bar is 4, and the preload is 100. Now here, I would like to maybe do some more experimenting with the bump stop rates and ranges. I did some, but there's probably a little bit more to be had through there. But springs, I have tried a ton of spring combinations, everything that I can think of. And this really has the best drivability and performance. You might gain, by going down one click on both of these, you might gain another tenth of a second. So if you want to try that, go ahead. If you feel like the car needs to turn more as far as on the front end of the car. But I was trying to do it to try to keep the tire wear the best that I could. And also for later in the stint, the car not falling off and getting a little too oversteery. So again, that's the reason I was doing that. As far as anti-roll bar and preload, I have tried so many different anti-roll bar combinations and preloads. It's been all over the place, up and down. This is the best spot. So really, I don't really see anything gained here at all. You can go down to about 59, like 50, like right there, and there's about as low as I would go, or otherwise you'll start getting some trail braking. You'll start getting some oversteer going into the corner. So again, just be careful of that. Other than that, that's good there. Shocks on the front are 7, 2, 22, and 19, and on the rear they're 3, 1, 8, and 10. Again, all dialed in with Motec, and of course I always go back over and just do maybe a few little adjustments just to try to help it go over bumps or take a bump better or this or that. So again, it's all pretty good. It came in good, so happy with that. Aero got 56 in the front, 61 in the rear with a 3 wing and a 3 and a 3 in the brake ducts. And the front aero variation is a 0.3 to the positive. So here, I've tried a lot of different combinations. And of course, you only have a 4 select on the wing. So that means every one that you make is a big adjustment. So you see where we're at as a 0.3. If you go max out, you're at a negative 0.8. So it really makes a big difference when you do one adjustment. It's not, with the GTR, that's just the way it is. It doesn't have the fine adjustments. I would have liked to gone about 2.5, but you can't do that. I tried to go 2, and I tried, and I just didn't like it. It slowed me down, and my times, I might get one good lap, but it was not as consistent, and you would be near the same times, but then you would fall off and drop a whole bunch of tenths, and then you're only gaining a mile an hour. From a 2 wing to a 3 wing is 1 mile an hour. That's it. So instead of 170, you do 171. So the thing is, it's not near as good everywhere through the Lesmos or anywhere else. It's not near as good. So again, you're better off to stick with this in a race and try it that way. And I think you can concentrate on driving and getting more time out of the rest of the track. And in the race, when I was drafting, I could go, it was going 174 and all that other stuff. So it was drafting, it was picking up speed, no problem. But like I said, it's just that I think anything less, and you got to tiptoe through a lot of the other corners, and you lose more time than you gain. And that's why I went with this, because it was the fastest. And it was more drivable. It was easier to drive this way than it is with the 2 wing, and the car felt much better. So again, if your car rotates too much for you, all you need to do is go up, 1 on the right height in the front. That's what I would do. I would definitely, all I would do, and that would change it, see, to a 0.1 now. So you went from a 0.3 to a 0.1. So if the car rotates a little too much for you, just raise the front 1 click. You don't need to add wing, don't need to lower the rear. I mean, you can, but what that does, it really hurts it by changing directions. So again, when I went down to a 2, I was trying to knock this down to make the car drivable, but it really hurts it in the chicanes. You just lose a ton of time. The car it just won't rotate as fast. So really, I would suggest not to do that. You'd be better off just to raise the front and just try to go off of that, and that will definitely slow the rotation and be a little bit more conservative. So again, and you can do the same thing in the rain. I would just do the same, pop it up 1 in the rain like that, max the wing out, and go. You're going to lose a couple mile an hour again, but in the rain, who cares? So again, that's what I would do. A few little adjustments, and it fits a lot of different applications, a lot of different track conditions. And again, just trying to show the Nissan GTR some love. And I know, we got Stefan is racing it in E-Seniors. So I was trying to see if he liked it or not. He uses some other setups. I'm not going to mention what, but he uses some other paid setups. So I was just doing this to see if he can help him improve. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, hopefully it will. But again, it fits their driving style. But again, I was trying to make it to where the car would fit a lot of different driving styles, and you wouldn't have to, uh, be some alien to get it out of it. So again, not that I am one, but again, I think a lot of people can still get just as fast, and maybe some people go faster than me in this, so it's not a problem. Again, I like the GTR. It's fun to drive, and I hope you try it out because again, it's fun. And again, I hope you enjoy the setup. It's free. The link will be in the description. Like all my setups are free, and of course it'll be on my Discord also, and that's link to that will be in the description also. And again, I want to thank Mark and Joseph for their support, and everybody else for liking and subscribing and commenting. All that is support, and I just want to say thank you very, very much to everybody out there, and I sure hope you come back and visit again. Y'all take care. See ya.